This is the Double Oak Founders Edition that the brand gave me quite a while ago, and they just gave me their all-new version 3.0 version of the exact same wallet, and we're gonna see exactly what has changed. So let's open this up. They have all new packaging, and here it is. This is the new version. And this is the old version. As you can see, I've used this one quite a bit more, obviously. So what has not changed between these two card holders? First up, they both retain the same top grain leather. It is still that bifold design where you open up the flap like this, and on the interior is going to be a leather portion. And then of course is the same ability to remove the card holder from the wallet. Now, at first glance, it may seem like these are the exact same thing, but there are actually some pretty big differences. And for a bifold wallet that is one of my favorite that I've ever used, let's go through the exact differences. Now, first up is its width. As you can see, it's ever so slightly thinner in the new version here. And the way they achieved that is, let's take a look at the old one first. You can see here that you put your cash in through the top. And what that does is it adds an extra layer of fabric right there. So what they've done is they moved that cash storage from the top to the back here. However, that means that instead of only having to fold your cash once to fit it in there, you do now need to fold it twice, just like many of the other wallets out there. I don't think that's a big deal, but I know a lot of people prefer to have their cash only folded once. Another difference you'll notice is they changed up the quick access slot. Whereas it used to be a more vertical one on this older wallet, the newer wallet, you just slide it in like that. I personally prefer that over the old design version right here because it is easier to get to this card. And that's just honestly my overall preference for most wallets. You'll also find on the newer version of the wallet on the back is they did retain this card slot on the back, which the old version, you just slid it in right there. Meanwhile, on the newer version, it is a similar slot, but the nice thing is you have this little thumb notch where you can basically get that card out and you don't have to pry it out. That is a nice addition. And before we move on with this video comparing the two wallets, make sure to subscribe if you found this at all helpful. I have a lot of videos like this coming up here soon. And also like this video as it does help me out in the algorithm. And then finally, the last change is the card holder. So this is the old card holder and this is the new card holder. And these changes actually apply to all of their new card holders as soon as they launch. They're kind of slowly moving them into production. But the difference is the old one used to lock by pushing the button upwards. So what you would do is you would put your 7 cards in there like that, and then you would push up. And there the cards come up, fanned out. It works really, really well. And if you wanted to lock them, if you didn't lock it, the cards would fall out. So what you would do is you'd push upward, and then the cards would not fall out. And that's done with this little piece right here. As for the new version, which is this one right here, it is still that 7 card capacity that you push down in there. And instead of having to push up to lock the cards, it's actually an auto locking. So when you get down to the bottom, it spring loads it. You can kind of hear it. Oh, maybe you can't hear it, but it auto locks so that when you push the cards down, it automatically goes over top. It's spring loaded. You no longer have to push up to lock the cards. Let's see if it works. Just like that, and they don't fall out. And it also is worth mentioning that the new card holder is MagSafe. They have non-MagSafe versions, but the one that comes with the bifold is a MagSafe version, just like the old one was. So what do I think about the changes between these two wallets? I actually personally appreciate the update to these wallets. I think having that vertical quick access slot right there is extremely beneficial. It's easier to get out, and that's exactly where I would probably keep my most used card. I think they kept all the best things about this wallet, like the ejector mechanism works really well. I appreciate the updated locking mechanism there. And then I think the only thing I don't love is having the cash there instead of on the top. I understand it does give it a little bit more slimness, which was a big downside to the older version, but I think I just liked the feel a little bit better of having it in the top. But the trade-off is there of having it be a just overall thicker wallet. So I will forgive that one change, and I think it probably was worth the update. It's just a slight bummer that trade-off had to happen to be slimmer and to just be a little bit better design overall. And with this newer version, this does retain being really my favorite bifold ejector card mechanism wallet. I have a bunch of them in my collection, and this still is the best one that I have ever used, and I think it's going to continue being one of the top spots just overall. Now, if you want to watch my full review of the old version of this wallet, I do have it linked on the screen right now, and I hope you guys enjoy it.